You have been a true friend to the United States, as you showed today by your visit to pay your respects at Arlington National Cemetery. And we've got a pretty packed schedule this week, so thanks for making the time to meet before we kick off the official program. This summit will celebrate 75 years of the greatest defensive alliance in history. The summit will deepen our extraordinary transatlantic bond and strengthen our shared security. I know that President Biden is proud to host this summit, and he looks forward to marking our historic achievements with leaders from our now 32 NATO allies. We've made outstanding progress in strengthening our deterrence and defense. We built on our progress from previous summits, and we've shown the world that NATO is stronger, larger, and more united than ever before. The ends of that unity is a testament to you. As the second longest serving NATO Secretary General, you provided courage, wisdom, and visionary leadership. And you've guided NATO through one of the most challenging periods in its 75-year history. Mr. Secretary, you've done an extraordinary job. And it's been an honor to work with you over the past 3.5 years. And so I look forward to our discussion today and to our work over the days to come. And thanks again for being here, and thanks again for everything that you have done to strengthen the great alliance that defends our freedom and security.
Let me start by thanking you for your leadership, your commitment to NATO, to our Transatlantic alliance, but in particular for your leadership on Ukraine. Your personal leadership in mobilizing all allies and many partners, more than 50 nations, establishing the Ukraine Defense Contact Group, the Ramstein format, has been extremely important, and it really made a difference and enabled us all to provide unprecedented support to Ukraine. So this would not have happened without your strong leadership on the support for Ukraine.
U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin welcomed NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg at the Pentagon on Monday, ahead of a NATO summit of world leaders in Washington this week.
This summit will celebrate 75 years of the greatest defensive alliance in history.
The summit, which kicks off Tuesday, marks the 75th anniversary of the Cold War-era alliance.
Representatives of 12 nations of Western Europe and North America assemble for the signing of the North Atlantic Treaty.
The gathering is also meant to showcase the leadership of U.S. President Joe Biden, who rallied NATO allies to show new unity and purpose in the face of Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Biden underscored that point during a visit to France in June.
The United States and NATO and a coalition of more than 50 countries standing strong with Ukraine. We will not walk away.
But looming over what was meant to be a symbol of American-led unity is the potential return to power of Republican President Donald Trump, a change that could upend U.S. foreign policy. The Republicans' penchant for praising Putin and his threats that NATO members needed to pay more for mutual defense have alarmed allies.
One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
Worries among NATO allies have grown since Biden fumbled a June 27th debate, boosting Trump in the polls ahead of a November 5th election. That means this week's summit, instead of highlighting Biden's diplomatic accomplishments, will be laser-focused on his fitness to hold office and whether he will still be president in 2025. Charles Kupchan is a professor of international relations at Georgetown University.
I think that right across the alliance, right across NATO members, including Ukraine, there is hope, if not prayer, for a second Biden term, because Biden did reinvigorate the Atlantic Alliance. Biden has led the effort to support Ukraine. And in contrast, Trump turned his back on the allies during his first term in office. He mused about withdrawing from NATO. He has said during this election campaign, if there are NATO members who don't spend enough on defense, I'm going to tell the Russians to have their way with them. And there is concern that the United States could withdraw from NATO if President Trump is returned to office.
While much of the attention will focus on Biden amid growing calls within his own party to step aside, the delegates will have a full agenda focused on military and financial aid for Ukraine and offering some pathway toward its eventual NATO membership.